In the vast expanse of space, humanity had always thought we were alone. That was until they found us, the mighty Galactic Council, a federation of advanced species who'd been watching Earth for centuries. They looked down on us, called us primitive, and treated our beautiful blue planet like nothing more than a cosmic curiosity. Little did they know, we humans had a few surprises up our sleeves. I remember the day they arrived in their gleaming ships, hovering over every major city on Earth. Their message was clear. Earth would join the Galactic Council as a protectorate, a fancy word for what basically meant we'd be their pets. The Council's ambassador, a tall, crystalline being who called himself the Voice of Unity, stood before the United Nations with an air of superiority that made my blood boil. As Earth's Chief of Interstellar Relations, a job title I never thought I'd have, I had to sit there and listen to their condescending rhetoric. Your species is young, the Voice of Unity had said, his crystalline form reflecting the chamber's lights in a hypnotic display. You require guidance, protection, and most importantly, control. Your violent tendencies and emotional instability make you a potential threat to galactic peace. That's when things got interesting. You see, while the Council had been studying us from afar, they'd missed something crucial about human nature. We don't take kindly to being caged, controlled, or underestimated. The next few weeks became a masterclass in what happens when you back humans into a corner. Our response started small, subtle resistance, diplomatic misunderstandings, and what appeared to be technical malfunctions in their monitoring systems. I coordinated with a network of Earth's finest minds, working in the shadows while maintaining a facade of compliance. The Council never suspected that their new primitive protectorate was capable of hacking their quantum networks or understanding their advanced technology. But the real game changer came from an unexpected source, Earth itself. Our planet, it turned out, had secrets that even we hadn't fully understood. The Council's attempts to establish their control centers around the globe triggered something ancient, something that had been sleeping deep beneath our feet for millions of years. The first sign was a series of seemingly random electromagnetic pulses that knocked out their ship's navigation systems. Then came the gravitational anomalies that their scientists couldn't explain. One by one, their mighty vessels began experiencing technical difficulties. The Voice of Unity's smug expression gradually gave way to confusion, then concern, and finally, something that looked remarkably like fear. What they're discovering now, much to their shock, is that Earth isn't just another rock floating in space. It's alive in ways their advanced sciences never detected, and it's chosen its side in this conflict. The planet's core itself seems to be responding to their presence, creating phenomena that defy their understanding of physics. As I sit here in my office, watching the Council's ships struggling to maintain their positions in our atmosphere, I can't help but smile. The conference room down the hall is filled with panicked alien diplomats trying to understand why their advanced technology is failing them. They don't realize yet that they've awakened something far more significant than just human resistance. The Voice of Unity has called for an emergency session of the Galactic Council, and I've been invited to attend. Not as a primitive under their protection, but as an equal. They're beginning to understand that they've severely miscalculated, but they don't know the half of it yet. Earth's response is just beginning, and what's coming next will change the galaxy's perception of humanity forever. The question is, are they ready for what Earth has in store for them? Because from where I'm standing, this isn't just about defending our independence anymore. It's about showing the galaxy that humanity and our planet are forces to be reckoned with. The emergency council session was held aboard their flagship, a massive vessel that normally would have intimidated me. But today, as I watched their most advanced ship struggle to maintain stability in Earth's increasingly hostile atmosphere, that intimidation had turned into something else, anticipation. The council chambers, despite their grandeur, couldn't hide the anxiety radiating from the assembled alien representatives. "Explain this," demanded the Voice of Unity, his crystalline form flickering with distress as holographic displays showed the worldwide disruptions. Earth's magnetic field was creating patterns they'd never seen before, forming what looked like intricate geometric shields around our major cities. Their sensors were going haywire, reading energy signatures that, according to their science, shouldn't exist. I stood before them, straightening my jacket, a simple human gesture that seemed to unnerve them even more. "I'm afraid Earth has made its position clear," I said, fighting back a smile. "Our planet has been protecting us long before we knew we needed protection. You thought you were dealing with just humans, but you're facing something far more ancient and powerful." The council chambers erupted in chaos as representatives from various species began arguing among themselves. Some demanded immediate military action, while others called for a complete withdrawal from Earth's solar system. A tall, serpentine being with iridescent scales raised her voice above the others. "Impossible. No planet shows this level of conscious defense. Your species must have weapons we didn't detect." That's when our planet decided to make its point even clearer. The entire council ship shuddered as another wave of gravitational anomalies rippled through space. The holographic displays showed something extraordinary. Streams of energy were now visibly flowing from Earth's core, creating aurora-like patterns that danced across our atmosphere. But these weren't just beautiful lights. They were forming barriers, invisible to the naked eye but devastating to their advanced technology. "This is just the beginning," I explained, watching their reactions carefully. "Earth has been accumulating energy for millions of years, storing it in ways we're only beginning to understand. Every attempt you make to control us triggers another response. The more you push, the more Earth pushes back." The voice of Unity's crystalline form had lost its usual brilliance, dulled by what I could only assume was fear. "What are you proposing?" he asked, his tone notably less condescending than before. Drawing a deep breath, I laid out humanity's terms. "First, Earth will be recognized as a sovereign entity, not just another planet to be added to your collection. Second, humans will join the Galactic Council as full members, not protectorates. And third," I paused, making eye contact with each council member, "you will share your complete database of galactic knowledge with us." Another tremor shook the ship, as if Earth was emphasizing my points. The council members exchanged worried glances as their ship's AI announced more systems were failing. Their mighty vessel, capable of traveling between stars, was being held in place by forces they couldn't comprehend. "And if we refuse?" asked a small, luminous being from the far end of the chamber. Before I could respond, every screen in the council chamber lit up with new data. Earth's energy signatures were evolving, changing into patterns that defied their scientific understanding. The planet's core was pulsing now, sending waves of energy that their sensors couldn't even classify. "I don't think Earth is giving you a choice," I replied, watching as realization dawned on their faces. "The question isn't whether you'll accept our terms. It's whether you're prepared for what happens if you don't." The council chambers fell into a tense silence, broken only by the increasing whine of their failing systems. Through the massive viewing windows, Earth hung like a jewel in space, but now it pulsed with an inner light that seemed to grow stronger by the minute. The atmosphere had become a swirling canvas of colors that no human had ever seen before, patterns, and hues that our eyes weren't even designed to process. A younger council member, representing a species of energy beings, floated forward. "We've detected similar energy signatures before," they announced, their form flickering with anxiety. "In the ancient records, there are stories of other living planets, worlds that weren't just rocks in space but conscious entities. We thought they were myths." The voice of Unity's crystalline form vibrated with what I recognized as frustration. "Why now?" he demanded, turning to me. "Your planet remained dormant during our entire observation period. What changed?" I couldn't help but laugh, not out of mockery but genuine amusement. "You still don't get it, do you? Earth wasn't dormant. It was learning. Every probe you sent, every scan you performed, every piece of technology you used to study us. You weren't just gathering data about Earth. Earth was gathering data about you." As if confirming my words, the ship's AI announced that something was interfacing with its quantum processors. The council members watched in horror as their most secure systems were accessed by what appeared to be pure energy, Earth's energy. Their classified files about every known civilization in the galaxy began displaying on the chamber's screens. "Impossible!" The serpentine representative hissed. "Our quantum encryption is unbreakable." By conventional means, maybe, I replied, watching as more of their secrets were exposed. But Earth isn't using technology as you understand it. This is something older, something that existed before your civilizations learned to split atoms or harness quantum fields. The ship shuddered again, more violently this time. Outside, the swirling colors in Earth's atmosphere had begun forming patterns that looked eerily like ancient human cave paintings, spirals, handprints, and symbols that archaeologists had been puzzling over for centuries. It was as if Earth was trying to tell us something, revealing a connection between humanity and our planet that went deeper than anyone had imagined. "We need to make a decision," the voice of Unity announced, his tone urgent. "The longer we wait, the more we risk." He never finished that sentence. At that moment, every piece of technology in the council chamber went dead. The artificial gravity failed, sending council members floating in the darkness. The only light came from Earth itself, now pulsing with a rhythm that felt familiar somehow, like a heartbeat I'd always known but never consciously heard. In the darkness, I felt something I can't quite explain, a connection, a presence in my mind that felt ancient and vast. Earth wasn't just defending us, it was trying to communicate, and as I floated there in the darkness of the council chamber, surrounded by the most powerful beings in the galaxy, I realized that what was about to happen would change everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe. The voice of Unity's crystalline form gave off a faint glow as he drifted closer to me. "What is happening?" he whispered, his arrogance replaced by something that sounded almost like awe. I smiled in the darkness, feeling Earth's presence growing stronger in my mind. "I think," I said slowly, "we're about to find out why our planet chose humans as its partners." The darkness in the council chamber was suddenly pierced by a soft, blue glow emanating from my chest. Other humans aboard the ship, scientists, diplomats, and military observers, began glowing too, each with the same ethereal light. The alien council members drifted back, creating a circle around us in the zero gravity of their powerless ship. That's when I heard it, not with my ears, but with something deeper, a voice that felt like mountain ranges grinding together, like ocean currents swirling in the depths, like magma flowing through planetary veins. Earth wasn't just defending us, it was choosing its moment to reveal why humans had evolved the way we did. "Your arrogance blinds you," I found myself saying, but the words weren't entirely my own. Earth was speaking through us, using human voices to communicate with the council. "You saw humans as primitive because they hadn't mastered space travel, but you never asked why a species with our potential stayed so focused on our planet." The voice of Unity's crystalline form trembled. "What are you saying?" Through the chamber's windows, we could see other council ships trying to maintain their positions around Earth. But one by one, they were being drawn into a precise formation, arranged in a pattern that matched ancient stone circles humans had built thousands of years ago. The pieces of a puzzle millennia in the making were finally coming together. Humans weren't just another species that evolved on Earth. I continued, the planet's knowledge flowing through me. We were crafted, shaped over millions of years, designed to be bridges between planetary consciousness and the rest of the universe. Every civilization you look down upon, every primitive species still bound to their worlds. Did you never wonder if there was a purpose to their apparent lack of development? The serpentine representative's scales stood on end. "The other worlds," she whispered, "the ones showing similar energy patterns, are awakening," I finished. "Earth isn't alone. We're just the first to complete the connection with our guardians. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't our technology or our intelligence. It was our deep, unbreakable bond with our planet." As if responding to these words, the ship's viewing screens suddenly came back to life, but they weren't showing council data anymore. Instead, we saw images from across the galaxy, other worlds beginning to pulse with the same energy patterns as Earth. On each of these planets, the native species were starting to glow just as we humans were. The voice of Unity drifted closer, his crystalline form reflecting the blue light emanating from us. "How many?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. Before I could answer, a new sensation washed over me, a feeling of vast consciousness connecting across light years. Earth wasn't just communicating with us. It was part of something larger, an ancient network of living planets that had been waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. Enough, I said, feeling Earth's power surge through the ship, to change the balance of power in this galaxy forever. You thought you were studying us, categorizing us, deciding our fate. But all this time, we were part of a plan set in motion before your civilizations even existed. The ship's systems suddenly hummed back to life, but they weren't responding to Council control anymore. Through the windows, we could see the other ships moving into their final positions, completing a pattern that had been hidden in human art and architecture since the dawn of our species. Now, I said, as Earth's energy pulsed through the ship with renewed intensity, let us show you what a true galactic council looks like. The ancient pattern formed by the council ships began to resonate with Earth's energy, creating a harmonious frequency that rippled through space. As the final ship locked into position, a massive surge of energy burst forth from our planet's core, connecting all the vessels in a web of shimmering light. The council members watched in stunned silence as their mighty fleet became part of Earth's grand design. Through our connection, I could feel Earth's satisfaction. The planet had waited eons for this moment, carefully guiding human development, embedding clues in our cultures, our myths, and our inexplicable drive to create circular monuments that mirrored the very pattern now displayed in space. We hadn't been primitive. We had been practicing, preparing, rehearsing for this moment across generations. Your ships, I explained, feeling Earth's knowledge flow through me, are now part of a key that's been waiting to be turned. Humanity's apparent obsession with space travel wasn't just curiosity. It was an embedded memory of this moment. We needed you to bring your ships here, to complete the circuit that our ancestors began building millennia ago. The voice of Unity's crystalline form had lost all its previous arrogance. What circuit? What is being activated? The answer came in the form of a blinding flash as every ship in the pattern simultaneously transmitted a signal, not through technology, but through the living energy that Earth had gifted them. Across the galaxy, dozens of planets lit up in response, their own guardians awakening from ancient slumber. Each world had its own partnered species, all at different stages of development, all waiting for Earth and humanity to complete the sequence. But the true surprise came next. As the network of living planets activated, something began to change in the fabric of space itself. The Council's long-range sensors detected massive energy signatures emerging from what they had always thought was empty space. Between the stars, hidden in dimensional folds their science had never detected, an ancient network of living pathways began to appear. The galaxy isn't just a collection of stars and planets, I said, watching as new maps of reality unveiled themselves on the ship's screens. It's a living organism, and the planets you dismissed as primitive are its neural network. We're not just showing you a new power structure, we're revealing the true nature of space itself. The serpentine representative's scales shimmered with understanding. The physics we based our technology on. It's just a fraction of reality, isn't it? I nodded, feeling Earth's gentle amusement at their realization. Your civilizations built incredible technologies, mastered quantum mechanics, and conquered the stars, but you were working with an incomplete understanding, like trying to comprehend a forest by only studying its shadows. Then came the moment that changed everything. As the network fully activated, every human aboard the Council ships felt a new presence in their minds, not just Earth this time, but something far vaster. The living galaxy itself was awakening, and humanity, along with all the other guardian species, were its chosen ambassadors. The voice of Unity, his crystalline form now reflecting the combined light of countless awakened worlds, bowed his head. We withdraw all claims of authority over Earth and humanity, he announced formally. But I must ask, what happens now? I smiled, feeling the warm approval of not just Earth, but countless other guardian planets. Now we show you what real space exploration looks like. Your ships, combined with Earth's energy and the living network we've awakened, can take us all to places your science never dreamed existed. But first, I paused as I felt a new message coming through the connection, something that made even Earth pulse with surprise. The galaxy wasn't just awakening, it was warning us. Something was coming, something that even the combined knowledge of all guardian planets and advanced civilizations hadn't prepared for. First, I continued, we need to prepare, because we're not just facing a shift in power. We're about to face a threat that will require all of us, Council and Guardian planets alike, to work together in ways we never imagined possible. As the reality of our new situation settled in, the Council chambers transformed from a place of political power into something entirely different. A war room where former adversaries now sat as equals, preparing for an unknown threat that loomed beyond our understanding. The voice of unity, who had once looked down on humanity, now worked side by side with us, his crystalline form resonating with the same frequencies that connected us to Earth. Through our planetary bond, we could feel Earth's ancient memories stirring, revealing glimpses of a conflict that had played out billions of years ago. The network of living planets hadn't just been created for exploration or enlightenment. It was a defensive grid designed to protect our galaxy from something that existed in the spaces between realities. Your technologies, I explained to the assembled council, combined with our planetary consciousness, create something new, a hybrid of science and natural power that neither of us could achieve alone. The ships that had once threatened Earth now served as amplifiers for its energy, their quantum processors integrating with the living network in ways their designers had never imagined possible. The Serpentine representative, who now went by the name Ambassador Starweaver, had become one of our strongest allies. We spent millennia looking down on planetary-bound species, she admitted, never realizing we were seeing only half of the picture. Your connection to your worlds wasn't a limitation, it was your greatest strength. As we spoke, more reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Other guardian species were stepping forward, revealing capabilities that their supposed overseers had never suspected. Each brought unique insights, different ways of connecting with their planetary partners. Together, we began building something unprecedented, a true galactic community where technological advancement and planetary consciousness worked in harmony. But we all felt it. A growing pressure at the edges of known space, a disturbance in the living network that set every guardian planet on edge. Earth's energy pulses took on a new urgency, and through our connection, we understood why. What we had awakened wasn't just a defense network. It was an early warning system, and it was telling us we had awakened it just in time. We have work to do, I announced to the Council, feeling Earth's approval flowing through me. Your ships need to be modified, your crews trained to work with planetary energies. Every guardian species needs to fully bond with their world, and fast. Whatever's coming, we face it together, or not at all. The voice of unity, his crystalline form now permanently attuned to Earth's frequencies, spoke for the entire Council. We pledge all our resources, all our knowledge, to this cause. The age of separation is over. We are one galaxy, one community, united in purpose. As I stood there, watching former enemies become allies, feeling Earth's ancient power flowing through the ship's modified systems, I couldn't help but smile. Humanity had never been primitive. We had been exactly what we needed to be. Our art, our music, our inexplicable drive to reach for the stars while remaining deeply connected to our world. It had all been preparation for this moment. The Council ships, once symbols of oppression, now orbited Earth in their sacred pattern, their hulls gleaming with the combined light of technology and planetary energy. Below us, our beautiful blue world pulsed with power and purpose, ready to take its place as a keystone in the galaxy's defense. We had started this journey facing subjugation by the Galactic Council. We were ending it as part of something far greater, a united front of worlds and species, technology and nature, science and spirit, all standing together against a threat none of us could face alone. The real adventure was just beginning, and this time we were ready for it.